Today, we'll demystify a powerful feature in Tableau: measure names and measure values. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what these are and how to use them to create compelling multi-measure visualizations. We'll explore these concepts using real data from the Heisenberg Meteorological Observatory, the world's oldest mountain weather station. It's located in the Bavarian Alps outside Munich. This station has been collecting weather data continuously since 1781, giving us a rich data set. Let's start by examining the data pane. Notice the measures: precipitation, snow depth, and 3 temperature measures. But look closely. Notice the italicized fields. Any field displayed in italics is automatically generated by Tableau and doesn't exist in your original data source. In our data set, these generated fields are measure names, measure values, and extract count. What happens if I drag measure values directly onto the text shelf? As you can see, Tableau dumps all the numbers together in a confusing pile. This demonstrates why measure values should never be used alone. It needs its partner. It needs measure names. Now, watch what happens when I place measure names on the column shelf. Suddenly, our view organizes into separate columns for each measure. Much better. Now that we've seen them in action, let's define exactly what these fields are. Measure values is a generated measure that contains the aggregated values of all measures in the dataset, essentially acting as a container for multiple numeric values. Measure names is a generated dimension whose members are the names of each measure in the dataset. Think of it as the labels that organize measure values. Before we go further, let's talk about aggregation. Every measure in Tableau has a default aggregation, initially set to sum. However, as you can see on our measure values shelf, we've changed our temperature measures to use average, which makes more sense for temperature data. You can modify default aggregation by right-clicking any measure in the data pane and selecting Default Properties Aggregation. Think of measure values as a bucket containing all your aggregated measures. By itself, it's just a jumbled collection of numbers, but measure names acts like dividers in that bucket, organizing the values by their respective measure names. To help us better understand this relationship, let me show you something interesting. If I right-click on the month dimension and select aliases, you can see all the dimension members, in this case the 12 months of the year. Now, if I do the same thing with measure names, you'll see its members are the names of our measures: precipitation, snow depth, average temperature, and so on. This is exactly why measure names can partition and organize measure values in our visualizations. Here's where this becomes useful. Let's say I have a line chart showing average temperature by month. How can I add maximum and minimum temperatures to the same chart? Simply drag both additional measures to the same axis. Note how Tableau automatically deploys measure names and measure values, allowing us to display 3 different temperature measures on a single axis with a shared scale. This technique works for many visualization types: highlight tables, clustered bar charts, bar and bar charts, and more. Measure names and measure values unlock the ability to create sophisticated multi-measure visualizations in Tableau. Remember, measure values contains your aggregated data, measure names organizes it, and together they enable you to compare multiple measures using the same visualization type. Once you master this concept, you'll find countless applications in your own analysis.